Hey racers, John Racer3 today, back for another Hot Wheels case unboxing video. And today we've got the Hot Wheels 2025 N case. Now I've been a little bit behind on my case unboxings, I'm not gonna lie. So I haven't even posted the L case at the time of unboxing this N case. So I hope you guys enjoy the case race content because there's gonna be a lot more of it coming to the channel very soon. But if you're new here, basically what I'm doing is I'm gonna be unboxing all of the cars, checking out what's in this brand new Hot Wheels 2025 N case, as this is the case that's probably hitting stores by the time you're watching this, and I want to find out which car is the fastest in the case. So if you're just interested in if you're not interested in seeing what's in the case and you just want to see what the fastest is, you can go ahead and jump to this time frame in the video so we can just go straight to the racing to see what is the fastest. But if you're interested in this case and you're interested in the cars that are in this case and you want to get some for yourself, I go ahead and list all of these all of the cars that I don't use in this video over on jr3garage.com. It is my marketplace that I'm building to grow, that I'm growing to just sell a bunch of old Hot Wheels stuff and all the cars that I don't sell in these cases, maybe some 3D printed things, and there's a lot of stuff I have in the works still, and I've been saying that now for a couple of videos, but I really do have some exciting stuff coming soon on there, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So if that's something that interests you, you can get $5 towards your first purchase using the link in my description, and it really supports me in what I do, so I would definitely check out the marketplace and join the community. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in to the Hot Wheels 2025 N case. You guys are gonna have to let me know. I'm using a brand new camera now for this video, no longer shooting on the iPhone, so you'll have to let me know how the quality looks for this case, and if you don't like it, then you can go ahead and leave a comment down below. But I also have a brand new distance track set up that I think you guys are really gonna like, because these last couple distance races from the case races just have not been that good with the track I've been using, but this race should be a little bit better. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the case, see what we got here. We have a Triumph-like bike as the regular treasure hunt, and then we have a Dodge Charger as the super treasure hunt, which is usually in the second half of the case. So magic fingers, go ahead and get us a super treasure hunt. We got one from the last case, got that Honda Civic, very, very sick stuff, but we'll see what we get from the rest here. All right, let's go ahead and unbox this case. I do not know what else is going to be in this case car-wise, so we'll just go ahead and learn right off the bat. But right off the bat, we got the Ford F-150 SVT Lighting and Datsun 240Z from the previous case. We'll go ahead and set that to the side, but we have this BMW 2002, which is new for the case. I believe this is a recolor from when it came out earlier this year. I do not remember what case this came out in, but it's a really fast casting, and I'm hoping this casting's fast as well. It looks like this one has a little bit of like a mark on the side of the door there, a little error. So maybe I won't unbox this BMW. Hopefully I get another one in the case. But speaking of cases, we're almost at the end of the 2025 cases. This is the N case. We've got two more after this. We've got the P case and the Q case before we start the 2026 case races, which will be very exciting. And I have something special planned here for the end of the case races as well. So stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and continue on. All three of these cars are new for the case. We got Pixel Shaker, which is not new for 2025, but it is a new decal. I think it came out in red earlier this year, and now we've got it in blue. I mean, it's Pixel Shaker. I think that's someone's cup of tea, probably not mine though. We've got the custom 56 Ford truck. This one is pretty awesome just based on the decals. We got the Dia de los Muertos on the side there, and I love the wheels. It's like they've got skull wheels, and I think that's really cool. So nice looking car, nice looking truck to add to the collection. We'll unbox that, see if it's fast. And then we got a Jaguar XJC V12 Coupe, which is a brand new for 2025 model, and I like the look of this thing. Recently, all of the cars that have these wheels, like the super shiny chrome wheels on the side, have been super quick. So I have a good feeling this thing might be super speedy, but since it's new for the year, we've got a little special blurb on the back. So let's go ahead and see what this says. Adrenaline enthusiasts went wild for this broad-speed Big Cat touring car with a race-prepared Jaguar 5.3-liter V12 bored to 5,416 cc, producing between 550 and 600 brake horsepower at 8,000 RPM. It's no surprise it set record qualifying times. Okay, that's it's a little interesting. It's part of like the wide body series as well. I don't know if I would call this a wide body car, but I like the decals on it. Red, white, and blue Jaguar. Very British, very cool. We'll go ahead and unbox it, see how quick it is. All right, let's see what else we got. With a Jaguar Mark 1 that was in the previous case. Mazda 787B, this is new for the case, and I really like the colors on this thing. The Mazda 787B obviously is a very legendary Le Mans car, so I'm a big fan of having these in my collection. I like the bronze wheels in the back, and then the white and blue decals as well, and then the tan bottom, I think, brings it all together. Beautiful looking car, definitely going to be in my top 10. And then we've also got Feline Lucky, which I am not even going to try and pronounce that, but it's like a lucky cat as a Hot Wheel, which is awesome. And I bet when it spins, it also moves the arm as well. I'm a big fan of the lucky cat. This is a cool Hot Wheel. Plus, new for 2025, we got another blurb to read here. Looking for luck as you careen toward that hairpin turn, or careen, not careen. I don't know what I'm saying. It's hard for me to talk today. I don't know. Hug every corner like a boss with this lucky feline as your co-driver, waving you toward the finish line to fortune and fame as the turbo engine purrs and tire smoke billows. I think it's, yeah, billows. All right, well, nice, cute looking car. Hot Wheels has made a couple of these just like goofy looking cars that have like moving parts on it and stuff. I like the colors though. Nice little lucky cat. I can't see Hot Wheels like re-releasing this in another color, but I may be wrong. There's only one way to find out. We'll see what they do with it. All right, see what else we got. We got Dragon Wagon and the Mercedes-Benz 500e from the previous case, and then we've got Super Twin Mill. I love the color of this thing. Very classic twin mill colors, and then you got the blue accents on here as well. Just to make it super, I guess, for Super Twin Mill. It's a new for 2025 model, but I believe we've seen this car before in previous cases, so I'll let you read that if that's something you're interested in. And we'll see if this version of the Super Twin Mill is fast on the track as well. We'll set that aside and we'll race it soon. All right, let's see what else we got. We got the 1966 Bat Boat, a Koenigsegg Jesko, or Jesko. I don't know how to pronounce Koenigsegg anymore these days, and a Jaguar Mark 1. We've seen all these cars before, but I get so many comments from you guys and in all my videos whenever I pronounce video with a Koenigsegg in it, and people always tell me that I pronounce Koenigsegg wrong, like Koenigsegg. I mean, Jesko versus Jesko. There are so many different ways that I've heard people pronounce Koenigsegg, and online, I believe it's Koenigsegg is the official pronunciation, but I mean, it's just also an accent thing. So if you think I'm saying Koenigsegg wrong, I'm sorry, you might just have to look it up online and hear how it's really pronounced. But something I just felt like saying, I don't know. Let's go ahead and continue on with the case. We got a Ford GT and we got Twin Dorado. Both of these cars we've seen in the previous cases, at least I think we have. I think this Ford GT was in the previous case. However, this might be a recolor. I'll have to double check on that real quick. Now that I'm looking at it, I think this Ford GT might actually just be a recolor, new for this case, but it's got the black and red with the bronze tires, looking very nice. Usually this Ford GT isn't that fast, but I can always be wrong. We'll unbox that, see how quick it is. And then we've also got a 2018 Honda Civic Type R. Hot Wheels has been coming out with so many Honda Civics, it's actually crazy. I feel like there's been a Honda Civic in every single case so far this year. Obviously, I could be wrong there, but this is another Honda Civic to add to the collection, a Honda Civic Type R. It's got the number 3 on it. Shout out the Hot Wheels designers. Definitely not intentional for John Racer 3, but I love seeing 3s on the cars. And it's blue. Gotta be a big fan of that. Just not the biggest fan of the Honda Civic. It's got the blacked out wheels. It's a decent looking Honda. Not the best car to have in a case, but maybe I'm just tired of Honda Civics. That's a personal thing. Let's go ahead and continue on. We got Cone Shaker. This is a recolor from when Cone Shaker came out earlier this year. Just nice to have another one, and we'll be unboxing, and I'll show you guys the fun feature where you can see the cone cars stack on top of each other, which is very cool. Very neat stuff. We got a Pontiac Firebird in white. This was a carryover from the previous case for sure, but then we got the Formula E Gen 3 car in collaboration with the McLaren Formula E team. This is a sweet looking car. I actually got the last generation of the Formula E car right here, I believe. Oh, these are actually the same casting, so this is just the first release of the Formula E Gen 3 in just the regular Formula E colors, but now we've got an actual McLaren racing team Formula E car, which is sweet. That's very awesome. Big fan of the open Formula cars as well as Formula cars that are sponsored by actual teams. So sick that Hot Wheels has a collaboration with McLaren there for the Formula E team. Very excited to race that on the track. Let's go ahead and see what else we got though. Feline Lucky, another Formula E Gen 3 that will be listed up for sale on JR3 Garage. Then we've got Later Crater, which is a recolor from when it came out earlier this year. I don't remember the color it came out earlier this year, but I do remember it was very speedy and it should be really good on the track layout I've currently got set up right now. So we'll unbox it and see how fast it is. See what else we got. We got an Amaru GTC and a Honda Civic Custom. Both of these cars are in the previous case, the Honda being the main line for the Super Treasure Hunt last case. And then we've got Ain't Fair, which has come out in these cases before, but is new for this case as a recolor. And I couldn't tell you what the first color was. It wasn't that memorable, obviously. Not very fast, just like a graffiti truck. I think this is one of the cooler fantasy cars to just like have in the background of videos, but isn't going to be actually that fast. So something to look at and see if it's fast as well. We've got Gone Mad, a Peugeot 9x8 hypercar, and a Big Air Bel Air. We've seen both of these cars before in the previous case. That Peugeot is a freaking awesome car, probably one of my favorites of the year for sure. Then we've also got Gone Mad, which is a new fantasy casting for this case and for the year, new for 2025. Let's go ahead and read about it. This 50s inspired wagon is tricked out with a wild mega speed makeover. Its vintage tail fin screams style, while the low stance, aero wings, and fuel injected turbo V8 fuel its dynamo through breakneck racing action. Well, isn't that cool? I wonder if it's fast. It looks a little bit wide, honestly, in terms of just Hot Wheels. So we'll see how fast it is on the track, but I'm a big fan of just like the very matte navy blue colors as well with the gold accents. That's a very good looking color scheme for that car. Excited to unbox that as well. So let's go ahead and continue on. We got another Jaguar XJC V12 Coupe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce that well right off the bat, but hopefully it's fast. We got a recolor of the Gordon Murray Automotive T.33. I love the color of this thing. The card art does not do it justice. Like on the camera, it really doesn't do it justice either, but looking at the car up close, this is definitely the best color this thing has come out in so far. Maybe it's only come out in silver if I'm looking at my collection right now and I'm right, but this is a really nice color, really neat color. I really like that. For the Gordon Murray Automotive, definitely going to be another one in my top 10. Then of course we got the Porsche 911 Turbo Cabriolet, which is one of the most sought after cars in this case as well, and probably everyone else's highlights in this case. Me, personally, I don't know. I think it kind of looks a little funky, and the colors could have been a little bit better for the first release for this thing, because this is also a new for 2025 model. I don't know. I just don't like the pink interior on the inside. It really takes away from the realism and how cool this car actually looks. It's a really nice model and I'm excited to get it out of the packaging, but I think the colors could have been a little bit better personally. Dreams come true. If you dream of a 964 turbo vert with a 3.3 engine and turbo whale tail, this Porsche Sonderwunsch, this Porsche Sonderwunsch, Special Wishes Department, brought the dream to life with only 6 of these stunning turbo look cabriolets driving off the production line. Wow, so this is like a really rare Porsche in real life. And they gave it a pink interior. I don't know. Comment down below what you think of the pink interior. I'm not the biggest fan, but maybe I'm just a hater. We'll see. We'll see what you guys say in the comments. All right, let's see what else we got. We got a custom Ford Model A. We've seen this recolor before in previous cases. We got Skull Shaker, which is not going to be a very fast car, but it is a recolor, so we'll definitely race it to give it its fair shot at the case races. Set that aside, and then we've got a Silverado EV RST. This casting is so fast, and now we've got it in burnt orange. Beautiful looking paint. It looks very shiny, very reflective, and this thing is definitely going to be at the top of the charts for when we race these cars later in this video. 100%. I'm betting it now. This thing almost won my distance championship last year after racing hundreds of cars. It was one of the fastest, so very cool for that car. And now we've got our second row of cars. It looks like we've got a Dodge. It doesn't look like a Super Treasure Hunt though. Unfortunate stuff, but we'll go ahead and see what we have in store for us in the second half of this case. We got a Pagani Utopia. This is from the previous case. Another Ford F-150 SVT Lightning and a Big Air Bel Air. Seen all those cars before. That Pagani will be listed up on the marketplace, so make sure you guys check that out. We got an Austin minivan, another Koenigsegg Jesko, and a Cadillac GTP hypercar as well. We've seen both of these guys in the previous cases, both of them being highlights of the cases for me, so we'll go ahead and set those aside, list them up for sale. But then we got a recolor of the Austin minivan that came out earlier this year, and I like this recolor a lot more. It's really got that British blue and red and white going on, and I like the base blue color as well, the very light blue. Very nice looking Austin minivan, cute looking car. We'll see if it's fast on the track. All right, what else we got? We got mad fast, a Nissan Skyline GTR R33 and a Mazda 787B. We've seen all these cars before, and this Nissan, the list is going up for sale, just so you guys know. It's going to be on the marketplace for you guys to check out. See what else we got. We got Crate Racer, Honda VFR 750R. Both of these cars we've seen before. Now, this thing came out, I believe, in the last case, and I fumbled the bag hard. I called it the KEI swap because I had no idea how to pronounce it. This is just called a K car. K as in K-E-I, K car. And I'm sorry that I was just silly in the last couple cases mispronouncing it, but it came across my feed like, oh, that's actually how you say it, because I never heard it like said in real life with the like spelling attached to it. So this is the K car. It was in the previous case, but I want to make up for my mistakes for what I called it in the last case, calling it the KEI swap. That's just not what it's called. It's called the K swap. A lot easier to roll off the tongue. So there you go. A little bit of a history lesson for you guys there. We got Twin Dorado with a bent card. That's unfortunate. Sorry for whoever orders a mystery box for fantasy cars and gets this guy. I hope he gets unboxed and has a great racing career. I really do. We've got another Nissan Skyline GTR R33, and then we've got a Volvo 240 Drift Wagon. This is new for the case in silver. I like the yellow and blue accents as well. Really makes it look Swedish. And it's pretty fast casting too. Usually the wagons are longer, and longer cars are typically faster. I mean, take a look at the Silverado. Definitely a longer car, and this thing should probably be pretty quick on the track as well. So nice looking Volvo wagon there, probably one of my highlights from the case. Let's go ahead and continue on though. We got another Pontiac Firebird, another Gone Mad, and the Mercedes-Benz 500e. Mercedes-Benz 500e, we saw all those cars before, but it was the fastest on the streets, so it was one of the faster cars in the last case, which is really nice. We'll go ahead and set that aside, list it up for sale, and continue on with the case. We've got a Cadillac Project GTP Hypercar in red, another Porsche 911 Turbo Cabriolet, and then we've got a recolor of the Mazda RX-7 drift car that came out earlier this year in yellow. And I remember that because I love this casting. The Mazda RX-7 is one of my favorite JDM cars, and just to have it like as a drift missile, I think this car in red looks a little bit better than it does when it came out in yellow as well. So a nice recolor to have in the collection for that Mazda. As we continue on, we got another Datsun 240Z, another Pixel Shaker, and another K-Swap. Seen those cars before, man, we're flying through this case. Not a lot of brand new cars here to really look at. Maru GTC, another Peugeot hypercar. We've seen those cars before, set them aside, but we've got Limited Grip, which is new for the case. At least it's a recolor, and I like the recolor of this thing. It's got the purple and lime green. I think the lime green really works because of that lime green interior, and the lime green interior works because it's a drift car. So we've got a couple more drift cars in this case. That's pretty cool. We'll definitely set that aside. And Limited Grip has had a history of being fast. Not all the time, but sometimes it might really bring some speed. So very interesting stuff. We'll keep an eye out for that. We've got Pagani Utopia, Quick Bite, and a Ford Model A Custom. All of these cars we've seen in the previous cases. And now we're on our last row. We've got the Roger Dodger 2.0, the Honda Civic Custom, and the Dodge Charger Hellcat. We've seen the Honda Civic before. Roger Dodger is also new for this case. I believe this is a recolor. It is now in silver and orange. I like the orange details on the wheels there, and hopefully it's going to be a pretty speedy car. But all of the fantasy cars that are models of old Hot Wheels fantasy cars like Roger Dodger, Twin Mill, Dior, all of that, seems like Hot Wheels is really going the route of like modifying them and having different versions of them, which is very interesting. So very cool car. We'll unbox that. But then we've got the Dodge Charger Hellcat. This is the super treasure hunt for the case. Obviously, this one is not a super treasure hunt, but it is a popular one because of the color. And I gotta say, like in person, the color is very nice. I think this thing will probably be pretty speedy on the track if it's not abnormally slow, which most Dodge Chargers are, but we'll have to find out and unbox this on the track and see how fast it is. And I think that might be the last new car from the case as we bring out the last cars here. Laying Lowrider, Rapid Pulse, we've seen these guys before, but then Hoto Roto is a recolor from when it came out earlier this year as well. Very long fantasy car. We've got a couple of cars here that are actually decently long, so hopefully this thing will bring some speed, and that is gonna do it for the Hot Wheels 2025 end case. Definitely not as strong of a case as these last couple cases, but it's kind of hard to beat when the last couple cases have had cars like the Pagani Utopia, like the Ferrari F40, the Peugeot Hypercar, a bunch of JDM cars. Like, this case just was doomed from the get-go because it didn't have all of those new cars, but I will pick out some of the cars that I thought were my personal highlights. Obviously, we're gonna go with the Mazda RX-7 Drift, definitely one of my highlights. I think the Dodge Charger as well. That Hellcat looks pretty sweet. We'll say the Volvo Drift Wagon as well, just because I really like the silver on this. It really pops. It doesn't really pop on camera, but in person it really does look very nice. We got a Porsche Cabriolet, obviously a highlight. The Gordon Murray Automotive, also one of my highlights, and it's probably high up there as well, just because of that color. And I think probably my favorite car from this case is the Formula E Gen 3. I'm definitely gonna get that mixed up with Formula 3 Gen E. That is not a real car, but I'm definitely gonna mix it up and pretend that's what this is. So I apologize in advance for miscalling that car, but that is gonna be my favorite car from the case. And then I guess we've just got some other cool ones like the Mazda 787B and the Jaguar XJC as well. And then just to get a clean 10 cars for my highlights, maybe we throw the BMW BMW 2002 in there as well. We didn't get a second one of these, and I don't know if it comes across on camera, but it does have a little bit of like a Tampo air on the side as well. So very interesting. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I guess for the last car in this case that I would say is a highlight would probably have to be the Silverado EV, because it is going to be abnormally fast on the track, and I would not be surprised if this thing just absolutely dominated all of the other cars in this case. So that is going to be my highlights for the case. If you guys want to buy any of them on JR3 Garage, feel free to do so using the link in the description. And I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into the racing. I hope you guys are enjoying the case unboxing so far. I haven't gotten a lot of feedback at the moment of filming this because, like I said at the beginning of this video, I have not been able to post all of my case unboxing videos because of my posting schedule and some brand deal requirements that I've had. But now that we're getting back into the swing of things, I hope you guys are enjoying the plethora of case unboxings and case races, and we've only got 2 more to go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what the fastest car is from this, I want to say 6 out of 10 2025 end case. All right, let's go ahead and see which one of these cars is the fastest. We've got the track setup, the John Racer 3 Super Speedway, and we've got a little bit of a change. This is probably one of the fastest corners that I have, this 2-lane spool heads turn, and that's gonna go into the spool heads fat track, which will then merge into the Hot Wheels fat track. And in testing, cars were carrying a lot of speed here, so I'm very excited to see how these cars do. But we've got all of the cars lined up here. We've got 14 license castings today, and we've also got around 11 fantasy castings, so should be a really close battle today. We'll start with the license castings, move on to the fantasy, and then we'll see which car is going to be the king of the case. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on the brand new track. Also, we're back on the iPhone camera now. I used a completely different camera for the case unboxing, but if you thought the quality was good, let me know. Maybe I should start using it for some of these actual Hot Wheels racing videos. You never know. Could make the quality better. Anyways, that's it. Let's just go ahead and get into the racing. First up, we got that Porsche Cabriolet. See if this thing's got some pretty decent speed. Around turn 2, let's see where he's gonna end up. He's gonna wreck a little bit going into turn 3, the fat track corner. We're gonna put him right about here, and not a bad first run of the day. Next up, we got the Formula E Gen 3 McLaren car. Ooh, the Formula E car actually seemed like it had some pretty decent speed on the downhill, keeping it straight. He's going to finish in front of the Porsche Cabriolet there on the garage fat track turn. 193 scale speed for the Formula E car is pretty fast, which is actually a little bit slower than the Porsche. I didn't show it on camera, but the Porsche ran like a 198 scale speed. So pretty fast cars to kick us off. Next up, we got that 2025 Jaguar XJC. See what this Jaguar is able to do. Looks like it's going to get a little bit loose on the spool heads track and spin out right before the turn. Again, 193 scale speed, pretty much the same speed as the Formula E car, but it's really going to be about how straight the cars can keep it on this fat track straight. Now, I've been experimenting with the turn 2 on the distance track for these case races for a while now, and one of the biggest things that I'm trying to make sure is that all cars are able to get a very smooth run. But since this is a competition between all these cars, the fastest car should be able to keep it straight. So if a car gets a little bit loose on the fat track portions of the track and it does hinder their performance a little bit, I will not be rerunning them. But if a car ends up spinning around or does something that completely invalidates the run, usually I'll run them again, so all of these runs should be pretty decent for all these cars. So there you go. A little bit of tidbit for turn 2. All right, next up, let's check out the Gordon Murray Automotive T.33. Oh, this thing seems super speedy. Look at the speed this thing's carrying around the track. Look at this run. It's going all the way down the fat track. I was not expecting that. 219 scale speed, so around the arc, the car isn't really one of the faster cars we've seen. 220 is still crazy, but I was not expecting the speed from that Gordon Murray Automotive car. I love to see colorful supercars when they're also super fast, and that is quite the run to beat. Next up, we have a much more underwhelming car speed-wise, the Mazda 787B. Now, I say that just because the splitter on this car is very low, but it's still able to keep some decent speed on the straightaways, not touching the walls, not bad for the Mazda. 184 scale speed, but there you go. These cars are able to carry their speed pretty well on that fat track if they need to. Next up, we have the Dodge Charger Hellcat, which is a lot heavier than I was expecting. Oh, this thing's carrying a lot of speed around the arc. Let's see how good this run is. Look at how smooth the Dodge is. Really good run there. 210 scale speed for the Dodge Charger, and I'm starting to like this track. These are some really smooth runs. Next up, we got the Mazda RX-7 drift car. See what this Mazda is able to do. Looks like it's carrying some decent speed. It's not going to keep it straight. He is going to spin out and keep some speed though. 203 scale speed for the Mazda and a little bit of a spin. It's going to put him right in front of the Jag. Next up, we got a Volvo drift wagon. This thing should be fast. See what it's able to do on the straightaways. Gets a little bit squirrely on the spool head straight, but he's going to finish off right there. Not an accurate run from the speed trap, but still a pretty decent run to get in front of the current pack of cars that's sitting right in front of turn 3 for the Volvo wagon. Next up, we got the Silverado EV. This thing's going to go pretty far. But that gets a little bit squirrely on the spool heads track, but it is not going to matter. He still pulls out a really good run, finishing in front of the Dodge Charger, but not even close to the Gordon Murray Automotive T.33, 216 scale speed, and I'm surprised. The Silverado is not the fastest car in the case, but hey, this thing does have a knack for finishing second. If you know, you know. Next up, we got the BMW 2002. See how speedy this BMW is. Around the spool heads track, very smooth, and he's going to end off right around turn 3. 208 scale speed is going to put him 4th overall so far. Next up, we got the Ford GT. See what this Ford GT is able to do. Doesn't look like he's carrying that much speed through the turns. Look at that, slowing down on the straightaway, but still going to finish in the middle of the pack in front of that Mazda 787B. 193 scale speed for the Ford. Have I mentioned you guys should go to jr3garage.com? You will not regret it. Next up, we got the Honda Civic Type R. Oh, this Honda Civic looks super fast on the track. Look at this run. He's going to go all the way around the fat track turn. Not the smoothest run on the fat track, but still really good regardless. Going to be finishing off in front of the Volvo wagon, 216 scale speed. Next up, we got the Custom 56 Ford truck. It does make it around the arc. I did not think this truck would. Take a look at the run he's got now. Going into turn 3, he's going to get in front of that Porsche 911 Cabriolet at only 184 scale speed. This thing carries its speed pretty well on the straights, which makes sense. It does have some pretty wide fenders on this thing, so it wouldn't be very fast rubbing against the Hot Wheels track, but on the straights, the thing's pretty speedy. And now for our last license casting, we got the Austin minivan. Oh, the Austin minivan, it was not rolling whatsoever. Maybe it's got some wheel issues. Yeah, this thing does not roll very well whatsoever. That is unfortunate. We don't have a lot of defects on these cars, but this guy, Yeah, he's not going anywhere fast anytime soon. Speaking of not making it around the arc, we've got Feline Lucky. And off the arc he goes, gonna fall right behind the Funtech Lab Windseibel wind tunnel. That is quite the tongue twister, sorry about that. And yeah, he's not going around this arc anytime soon. But just so you know, what happens is you see that little thing on the back wheel hitting the hand of the Feline Lucky car. I mean, it's a pretty cool looking car, but speed-wise, yeah, he's not up there at all. I don't expect Skull Shaker to make it up the arc either. Look at that, not even gonna make it up the hill. This guy's got sort of the same deal as Feline Lucky. There's a little notch on that back wheel that keeps hitting the dude as he rolls down the track. Look, the wheel's not even like rolling half the time, and that is how he moves on the track. So there you go. All right, let's continue on with Limited Grip. Limited Grip seems pretty speedy. Can he keep it straight on the fat track? He can. He's gonna sink right into the apex at turn 3, have a really good run, and then drift it to a halt there on the 4th straightaway. Not bad at all. 225 skill speed. It's gonna put him 4th overall. Next up, we got Hodo Rodo. This thing is loud screaming down the track, but it's long. Can it extend its gap? It doesn't look like it. It's gonna finish off right around turn 3, 208 skill speed, and that's gonna put him 6th overall. Next up, we got the new for 2025 Gone Mad, and I don't think this thing's gonna go very far with that low splitter. He makes it around the arc, goes up around turn 2, and he's slowly gonna finish off. Look at that, actually in front of the Porsche Cabriolet. Not bad at all. 18888 for this Gone Mad. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Gone Mad. He's gonna finish off right in front of the Porsche. Next up, we got Later Crater. This thing just has some massive wheels on it. Gonna be able to have a pretty decent run as well, ripping it around turn 3. He's gonna pass Limited Grip to put himself 4th place overall as well. So not bad for this guy at all. A pretty solid run and a very inaccurate speed. Next up, we have Ain't Fair. Let's try that one again. Yeah, he wasn't gonna be making it around the arc. I'm not surprised. Next up, we got the Cone Car. Oh, the Cone Car barely makes it around the arc, and he's gonna finish off on the apex of turn 2 as well. This thing just must not have any speed. And now that it's out of the package as well, I also don't really care for this color combination of the lime green and purple. So far, slowest car to actually make it around the arc, which makes sense. Next up, we got Pixel Shaker, and we've got our boy Jim behind the wheel. See what Construction Man Jim can do. Wow, he is wheeling this thing. What a run from Jim. He's gonna keep going, and he's gonna put himself 2nd so far on the all-time leaderboard. This Pixel Shaker is super fast, 216 scale speed, a really good speed from Pixel Shaker there. Is gonna put him right next to the Gordon Murray Automotive and kick Later Crater out of the top 4. Next up, we got Roger Dodger 2.0. Ooh, this thing seems pretty quick around the corners. Look at the speed he's able to carry as well. Take a look at that. He's gonna put himself in the top 4, position 4 actually, just barely beating out that Dodge. 222 skill speed, not a bad run for the fantasy car. Next up, we got Super Twin Mill. See what he's able to do with that low splitter. Look at that, kicking the back end out, going into turn 2. Yeah, this thing was not carrying the most speed. Although the speed trap does not agree with me, this thing just was not the fastest on the track. He's gonna finish at the back of the pack going into turn 3. All right, that is gonna do it for all of the main lines in the N case, and our top 4 is the Gordon Murray Automotive, the fastest car in the 2025 N case, followed up by Pixel Shaker, then the Silverado EV, and then we've got the Roger Dodger, I believe, yeah, that's what his name is. Yeah, Roger Dodger 2.0, finishing just in front of that mainline Dodge Charger, who finishes 5th, Later Crater 6th, Limited Grip 7th, and that BMW 2002 is going to be finishing 8th. All of these other guys finish in the pack, but not a bad run. Comment down below what you guys think of this turn 2. I kind of like it, and I like how the cars have to be able to keep it straight on the fat track for a good run, but now we've got our king. We've got the flip car, the undefeated casting that has been the king for so many videos in this series. He's got to see if he can outrun this Gordon Murray Automotive. I don't think that's going to be an easy feat. Let's see if he can do it. All right, King of the Hill flip car. Let's see what you can do. This thing is just so fast on the track. Let's see if he can pass the Gordon Murray. Oh yeah, it looks like it. He's going all the way to turn 3. This car is not going to be dethroned anytime soon. Our king still stands. All right, we've got all the cars lined up based on where they finished on distance. So if you're wondering where all of the cars finished up, here you go. A pretty good assortment and range from this case, and we got some really fast cars as well. But now it's time to find ourselves a king of the streets. We've modified the track a little bit, so now we've got the 2-lane fat track that produces what I think is the best racing on this channel on the JR3 Super Speedway. Around turn 2, farthest car wins. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be racing the top 4 cars against each other to see which car is the king of the streets in a little bit of a tournament. So we're going to have the Gordon Murray Automotive and the Chevy Silverado, the first and third seeds, going up against each other. Then we got Jim, our boy, in the Pixel Shaker, going up against Roger Dodger 2.0 as well. The winner will be the king of the N case, and we've got the king of the street, the Mercedes, who raced their last case, who's looking to defend his title as well. So let's go ahead and get started with our first and third seeds, the Gordon Murray versus the Chevy. All right, remember it's first car to 2 consecutive wins. We'll move on to the next round. Gordon Murray starting on the inside. Let's see what happens after race 1. Looks like the Gordon Murray is going to beat the Chevy to the line easily, or at least to the turn, and he's going to hold his lead going into lap 2. All right, lap 2, let's see if the Chevy can fight back on the inside. Wow, it doesn't look like it. The Chevy's going to go for the outside move, but he's not going to get there. The Gordon Murray is going to defend him, and take a look at that. I would have predicted when I unboxed this case that this thing would have become the king of the streets for the entire series, but unfortunately I was wrong. This thing gets eliminated, and it's going to be the Gordon Murray moving on to the next round. Next matchup, we got Pixel Shaker versus Roger Dodger 2.0. Oh, looks like the Pixel Shaker's got it. Roger Dodger looks to make a move, and the Pixel Shaker's gonna block. What a race. Jim's gonna move on to the next round, or at least have the advantage going into the next race. All right, let's see if Roger Dodger can retaliate. Oh, it looks like Roger Dodger gets absolutely blown out of the water by Jim there in the Pixel Shaker. He's going to win 2 in a row. Moving on to the finale matchup against the Gordon Murray. And Roger Dodger 2.0 gets a little bit squirrely out of turn 1, and that is enough to lose the battle. He's going to move on, and maybe he'll race again soon. I don't know. All right, we got 2 beautiful blue cars racing for the king of the streets of the N case. We got the Gordon Murray Automotive I cannot talk. What a tongue twister. The Gordon Murray Automotive T.33 up against the Pixel Shaker. There we go. All right, let's see what happens lap 1. Wow, the Gordon Murray just absolutely runs away with it. Yeah, he's going all the way. Jim, what are you doing, man? You gotta drive this thing a little faster if you want to be the king of the streets, bro. Come on. It has been a long time since the king of the hill became the king of the street of the same case. Gordon Murray has the chance to do that if he takes the win from the outside this time. Let's see what happens. Look at that. He is just absolutely going to sweep around the outside. The Pixel Shaker and Jim is not going to come up with the dub. They're going to finish second, and it's going to be this Gordon Murray Automotive T.33 becoming the king of the hill and the king of the street. This thing is unbeatable. Well, we've got one more matchup for it, and that is the king of the streets for the entire case, the Mercedes-Benz 500e, going up against the Gordon Murray Automotive. Man, I'm just going to start calling it the T33. Gordon Murray Automotive is too much for me to talk in one time. All right, let's go ahead and see what happens after lap 1. Oh, look at that. It's going to be a decently close battle, but the Gordon Murray just realized that he is not the fastest car, and the Mercedes-Benz 100% also has that speed to take home the win. Mercedes is going to have the advantage now, starting on the outside. All right, let's see if the T33 can fight back from that inside. Look at that. He tries it, but that Mercedes was so fast down the fat track. None of these cars making a mistake, and unfortunately, the Gordon Murray Automotive is not going to be taking the win, and the Mercedes is going to hold on to the king of the streets crown. And there you guys have it. What a battle. This thing is absolutely speedy, and I'm so happy that that thing is the fastest car in the case. It's a very nice looking car to have be representing of the speed that these Hot Wheels bring from this case. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and comment down below your thoughts on this series, what you guys think of the distance track, what you guys think of the case unboxings in general. We've only got 2 more left before we do something a little bit special here to end off the series and then move on to the 2026 line, which I do plan on doing. So subscribe if you're interested in seeing all of those cars on the track in the future. But that is all I'm going to be filming today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.